How are you doing, Rick? I'm doing fantastically. I thought you might appreciate these coins, so I showed them to you while I was in town. We've watched the lives of the Pawn Stars change throughout the years, from the great Richard Harrison and his son Rick Harrison, to Corey Big Hoss and his boyhood pal Austin Chumley Russell. Their wives, the women who created Pawn Stars, are a hidden aspect of their life though. Entanglements. Their lives are frequently characterized by messy connections and complex dynamics, suggesting that there may be a potential explanation for this. What is happening behind the scenes then? Let's investigate. Harrison's first wife in love, Kim Harrison. Even though Rick has seen his share of valuable items throughout the course of his profession, he has never been able to locate true love. His 3 previous marriages had all ended in divorce. However, he had previously given love a chance. It all began when Rick, a young high school student at the time, was just 17 years old, and working odd jobs and hustling for phony Gucci bags to make ends meet. But when Kim, his high school sweetheart at the time, became pregnant, he was forced to make a decision. In 1982, when they were both still 17 and 18, they were married despite the miscarriage of the pregnancy. Adam was born in 1984 after Corey was born within a year. Life wasn't glamorous in those early years, as you can probably imagine. It was a daily struggle to stay alive. In addition, he continued to experience epileptic seizures, which had plagued him since he was a young child and frequently kept him in bed. However, the marriage dissolved in 1985, around 9 months after Adam was born, and most people believe that immaturity and financial difficulty were the reasons. Their split wasn't shocking to many. While Rick followed his goal, Kim was compelled to become a grown-up and learn how to provide for 2 children. He has admitted that his early connection had a tremendous and traumatic impact on him. Was around 2 years old at the time of her death. Forget. However, his love past was over by the time Pawn Stars debuted on television in 2009. While learning how to be a father, the young guy who had previously dropped out of high school decided to follow his ambition. Tracy Harrison in her second marriage. Rick met Tracy, the second love of his life, on a double-blind date just 9 months after his divorce. Tracy was originally from Nevada, and Rick was drawn to her sincere friendliness and bright smile right away. She eventually established herself as the solid cornerstone of his life, offering company and support through good times and bad. They chose to be married after only 8 months of dating since they had such a deep bond. This was the start of a 25-year journey that would be full of delights and tribulations as they created a life together. Corey and Adam, Rick's boys, were raised by Tracy as if they were her own. However, they welcomed a son, Jake, in 2003. The family's existence was still very much out of the public eye at the time. Rick had started the pawn shops in the middle of the 2000s, loan out $3 million a year, doubling down with interest of $700,000, but he never claimed the credit. In the midst of the upheaval, he has always given his wife Tracy credit for keeping their home life grounded. As Pawn Stars gained notoriety in the late 2000s, the couple began to show up more frequently at grand openings and History Channel events. Then, they gave me an IQ test and declared me to be a genius, which was one of the worst things they had ever done to me. 44, 35, 44 and 43. The Harrison family became well known thanks to the show, which attracted almost 7 million viewers in 2011. But there was a price for the fame. According to accounts, Rick's marriage to Tracy was strained as a result of the lengthy hours he was required to spend in the spotlight, and due to irreconcilable reasons, Tracy and Rick formalized their divorce in 2011 after over 25 years of dating. However, within a year, Rick found love once more. Tracy, on the other hand, decided to remain anonymous and concentrate on her travel and real estate business in Las Vegas. Deanna Burdett was the third wife. Within the same year, Rick fell in love with his third partner, and in July 2013, they were married in front of 180 guests at Laguna Beach. Rick didn't miss the chance to quip that their 6 children, her 3 daughters and his 3 sons, created a beautiful symmetry, and the ceremony perfectly captured their Brady Bunch dynamic. Deanna was tagged over wine at Oriole Restaurant in Las Vegas, despite the fact that she was not well known, and after seeing her, he famously declared his intention to marry her before putting a ring set with 2.5 diamonds on her finger. They worked behind the scenes at the shop without requesting camera time because they were a notoriously private person. But once more, Rick's amorous interests took a different route. Soon later, the Fishers appeared, and he filed for divorce in Clark County in July 2020. With negotiated alimony and settlements, their quiet but solid divorce was finalized in September 2020. Large the host, the wives of Harrison, Charlene Harrison, the initial spouse like his father, Corey's love story began early in life. He resumed his affair with Charlene Steele from high school when he was just in his mid-20s. The fact that their 2009 wedding was kept secret only served to heighten the mystique around her. Over the years, Charlene developed to become more than just his spouse. She was his steadfast ally. Charlene was by Corey's side throughout the 2014 motorcycle accident that required surgery. She remained and cared for his injuries as he recovered. At about the same time, Corey was diagnosed with pre-diabetes, which presented him with yet another crucial moment. After undergoing lap band surgery, he shocked his physicians and admirers by dropping from 402 pounds to just over 200 pounds, a stunning 192-pound weight loss. However, Charlene developed a double persona beneath her reserved demeanor. Her creative life is evident in her online site, Sweet-Tempered Homemade Accessories, which apparently generates between $300,000 and $1 million every month from handcrafted goods, like aprons, and hair accessories that showcase her artistic spirit. However, it appears that the pair still experienced some tension in their relationship even though she had a purpose and privacy outside of being Corey's wife. Their peaceful divorce in 2015, following 6 years of marriage, served as proof of this. Following their divorce, Charlene avoided the spotlight and maintained an offline lifestyle while juggling her responsibilities as a parent and businesswoman. She was in favor of Corey co-parenting despite the breakup. There were still rumors that they would fall in love again, but when Corey remarried and had a child just a year later, the whispers stopped. However, that same year, he also got divorced. Many questioned whether their divergent life goals caused them to go different routes. These inquiries were brief, because Corey was getting married again that year. Harrison, Kiki, second wife, exchanged vows with Karina Kiki Harrison at a private ceremony held in San Diego in the spring of 2017. Even though their May 26, 2017, wedding was only a short time after his well-publicized 2015 divorce with Charlene, it signaled a new chapter in Corey's life. Just 1 year after getting married, in August 2018, Corey and Kiki filed for divorce, despite the fact that their marriage appeared to be happy and exciting. Fans and viewers were perplexed when the pair remarried, though. Others felt that parenting a newborn baby, Richard Benjamin Harrison, who was born in October 2018, may have caused a rift between them, while others questioned whether the duties of operating the shop were the reason for their second breakup. Fans remained unconvinced, despite Corey's efforts to craft the story of their breakup. There were suggestions that the couple would get back together after some admirers pointed out a tattoo that Kiki subsequently showed off. All rumors, however, were put to rest in September 2018, when Corey made their divorce official, but a new chapter in co-parenting began in October, when the couple welcomed their son a few weeks later. Current circumstances. Corey Big Hoss is currently at another turning point in his life. This time, he is caught between paving his own way, becoming a father, and being famous. He has been open about his difficulties maintaining a relationship, and has now made the decision to take a break in order to have a private life, learn to love his time, and discover his true self. In a recent interview, he admitted that love is simply more difficult when the cameras are rolling. However, at 42, Corey is redefining himself and getting over his previous setbacks. His recent astounding weight loss has demonstrated to the public his dedication to living this life. His recent headlines serve as a reminder that he is still human despite his dedication to and attempts to live a different life. His detention in September 2023 sparked rumors and worries about the unknown stress he might be dealing with. He is still cautious though, when it comes to love. Although there have been some rumors linking him to Roxy Gonzalez in 2022, there has been no formal confirmation of their connection. On the other hand, he has been very explicit about only one relationship, that with his son. This occurred in October 2008, when he shared a post on his travels with Richard, emphasizing that, above all else, being a father was the most significant role in his life at the time. Corey still has a strong entrepreneurial spirit. He opened Corey's Garage and leveraged his pawn shop reputation to promote the restoration and sales of vintage cars. That's not all though. In addition, he has made investments in merchandise and real estate. Since its launch, this brand has reportedly brought in $4 million for him. Additionally, he was a co-founder of the Beauty Bar nightclub, albeit that was shut down in 2018. But as he now attempts to live a more selective life, his role on Pawn Shops, the show that throughout the years provided millions of people with thrills and rushes, has objectively changed. Since Nevada laws restrict celebrity appearances during open store hours, he now frequently shoots important moments before withdrawing behind the scenes to pursue other endeavors like producing and podcasting, with his father Rick and Chumlee still handling the majority of the on-screen work. His professional and personal development highlight the paradox of celebrity, demonstrating that although it might lead to new opportunities, success can also amplify personal hardships. Additionally, Corey has made the decision to face the future alone himself, after enduring enough hardships in all of his relationships. Chumlee, Austin, the romance of Russell, the fiancé of Olivia Riedemann. Chumlee and Olivia Radiman first crossed paths in Las Vegas in 2016. Olivia and Chumlee transformed from pals to a gorgeous pair, in spite of the widespread advice to keep Vegas in Vegas. Olivia was just a student at UNLV, but she had a strong desire to start her own business. Despite being 10 years younger than Chumlee, Olivia Radiman was more than just a student, thus no one could claim that their relationship was transactional. She was a smart, stylish woman with a charitable heart. The public could not help but welcome and love her because she was a highly valued woman. Their romance took a new turn in May 2018, while on a tropical vacation in Waikiki, where they stayed at the Royal Hawaiian Resort. Chumlee proposed. As an enduring vow, he presented Olivia with a 1.5-carat diamond ring. An even larger event was held in March 2019, following a year of this lovely occasion. Olivia and Chumlee got married as a couple. They were spotted dancing and having a good time in the D Las Vegas casino in Vegas, with their group of friends and family. Eventually, the festivities came to an end, but not before a rumored covert ceremony took place in Hawaii. The radiance of a lady in love glistened on Olivia. Everywhere she went, it made the news. Steakhouse dinners, charity galas, and upscale hotspots all found their way into the news. She appeared next to Chumlee at Andiamo Italian, inside the D Casino for instance. Her dream at the time was to start a franchise of eyelash boutiques, backed by Chumlee's candy shop next door. This gave a new perspective on the pair, even though it seemed more like a fantasy than a practical plan. They received recognition for their entrepreneurial aspirations and collaboration. We are all aware of the well-known caution though, that not everything that shines is gold. There was more to this apparently lovely union than meets the eye. Since they were no longer a secret, the tabloids discovered their weaknesses. Chumlee was having weight problems. He had gastric sleeve surgery at the beginning of 2019. When he came back, fans applauded his makeover, dropping more than 150 pounds.